Welcome back. Now today we heard breaking news about Xbox and Netflix on your Windows 7 phone OS at MIX10, and we're going to explain it all to you in the loop. Joining me via dark magic from New York to help make sense of it all is Editor-in-Chief for Engadget, Mr. Joshua Topolsky. Welcome, Joshua.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good, how are you? Now,
Very good.
Normally, Mr. Topolsky, you wouldn't expect any major news to come out of a conference for designers and developers. However, Microsoft had us all in a tizzy this morning with everything going on at MIX10, so looks like Xbox gaming is coming to Windows 7 phones. Can we confirm that?
Yeah, I mean, they're really pushing Xbox gaming on these devices. You know, they announced Windows Phone 7 at Mobile World Congress last month, and they were really quiet about all the developer side of things. You know, what's going to happen with gaming, how are apps going to be created. And they spilled the beans at Mix, and it looks like they're going to push really hard to bring Xbox, really integrate Xbox into a mobile phone, into a smartphone platform.
And also, attendees also got their first look at tons of Windows 7 apps, but did you see anything that looked particularly impressive?
Yeah, well, they showed off a Netflix app where you can do streaming like you would on an Xbox, which is pretty amazing. Seismic, a Twitter app, looked really good. They showed off some 3D gaming, a game called The Harvest, which looked amazing. And they actually showed something really interesting, which was an extension that you could plug into their gallery, the native app on the phone, and it lets you edit your photos without having to open another application. So really interesting possibilities with that.
That's what I actually want to go back for a second and ask you about the Netflix streaming. Did you actually see it work? Did it look good? Was it juddery? I mean,
yeah.
how does it...
I mean, they had it running during their press conference, during their demo, and it looked great. I mean, you know, obviously the resolution is going to suffer because it's a smaller device with a lower resolution screen, but I mean, it's streaming Netflix, it looked clear, it was not stuttery, and it's on a mobile phone, so that's a pretty huge deal.
So what other developers are on board that you saw out there?
Well, EA is on board, of course. They're not going to miss this kind of party. And Namco, you've got Pandora, Shazam. I mean, a lot of the stuff you're seeing for other platforms, they're coming over to Windows Phone 7.
So where would you lay odds on other phones like the iPhone or Nexus 1, for instance, getting the Netflix streaming, just to go back?
Well, Netflix, the streaming is relying on Silverlight, which is a Microsoft plugin, Microsoft technology. You're not going to see it on the iPhone. You're probably not going to see it on an Android phone. So the odds right now don't look that great.
Man, that's a shot to the jewels for Apple, because I have an iPhone. I've been wanting to stream my Doctor Who. I'm not going to be able to do that, and a huge boon for Windows. Was everything Engadget saw at MIX10 today enough to make Apple worry, I guess, is the question that we all really want to know.
Well, I mean, I got to say, I'm pretty impressed with what they're doing. I mean, they're really pushing games. They're pushing apps that you're not going to see on something like the iPhone. Netflix is a perfect example. They're really taking advantage of Silverlight and XNA, and in a complete way, not like they're not half-assing it. It's the real deal. So these phones seem really compelling to me right now. I mean, besides the fact that you've got all of this integration happening, you've also got Microsoft behind it, which is monolithic. So, I mean, if they do this right, if these phones are as good as they look when they come out, I mean, it could be real competition for all the smartphones that are on the market right now.
Well, it looks like the consumers are going to win, because these two OSs I mean, all these OSs actually are going to go head-to-head, and that competition is going to give us a lot of really cool stuff. I want to thank Joshua Topolsky. Thanks so much from Engadget for keeping us in the loop. I'll see you around.